Okay, so the reason for, just a brief intro before we go into the panel discussion. The reason for this is for us as lawyers to understand, like I said before, how to incorporate business strategies, business skills into our legal practice. So we have panelists on the session who are seasoned business professionals in different fields. Apologies, two of our panelists had to turn back on the way due to some very extreme reasons, so they're not here. But I'm very confident that the four panelists here are good enough to deliver, for us. So my first question is going to go to Accounting Hub, Mrs. Chioma Ifeanyi Eze. By the way, she's also known as Chioma Business School. So if you're on Facebook, please, I urge you to follow this woman. She's loaded. She has a lot of business sense, business strategies, business tips that she gives every day. She's very, very loaded. And our profession is, somewhat similar to hers. Accounting also, it's a profession that, you need to understand how to market yourself very well, how to stand out, and how to be able to make good profits from whatever you are doing. So she knows what she's doing, and she's very, very loaded. So I would encourage you, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, follow her every morning. The moment I open my phone is Accounting Hub. So she's very good. Thank you so much for being here.
A lot of us are complaining that Nigeria is a bit chaotic. There is a lot going on right now in the legal field, in the news and all of that. As a lawyer, I'll be excited about being in Nigeria at this point in time because I feel that there are lots of opportunities for people, especially in this profession. And this is me being very honest. So lawyers are supposed to create order where there's chaos. Hello? It's like they've created like open market for every lawyer. But like Ibukun mentioned earlier, we don't think of ourselves as solution providers, as lawyers. We think of ourselves as lawyers. And that is a fundamental problem. So there are a lot of people that need your services, that need your help. But because you've not seen that you can provide a solution and then create a niche in that space, that small space, and dominate it, it's difficult for you to explain to anybody who you are and exactly what you do. Because to the layman, everybody is a lawyer. Charge and bill. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So create a niche for yourself. One of the things that technology has done is give every lawyer an opportunity to have a voice. Lawyers are supposed to be the people that, are the voice of the people, yeah? So you do not have a platform to be the voice of the people. Use it. Omo mentioned earlier about the Instagram lawyer, and he was talking about what he does. And for me, that is amazing. Because you are bringing content to life in a particular field, right? So take a niche, pick a niche, whatever it is. There are tens of millions of human rights cases that need to be fought in Nigeria today. True? Why are you not creating a niche in that, going on different platforms, sharing your passion about that and how you want to help people? As long as you are providing solution to a problem, selling won't be as difficult as it seems. The other thing I think we lawyers need to start doing, apart from, of course, maybe human rights cases, is class actions. All of you should be rich by suing the big corporates in Nigeria that just do rubbish. True or false? True or false? I know, I'm messing, do it. My point here is look for something, your niche, right? Focus on that niche and push out content about your niche. Let people know that this is who you are, this is what you do, because that's the foundation for everything marketing content. I'm not going to come meet you and ask you what you do. I need to understand who you are. So when I have a problem in a particular space, top of mind awareness comes in because, something goes up my mind. I'm like, okay, what does this person have to say about this? How can this person help me? In the saga we're having in the country currently, when everything's still going down, sometimes last week, there were a few lawyers that every Nigerian was looking to for their opinions. True? Because they've created a niche. One very quick one was Falana. Everybody wanted to hear what he had to say. Because so far, we think he's not partisan. True? He has created a niche. Everybody needs to create a niche and churn out content in the area where you are strong, where you can scale that from a niche to a passion to a business. Thank you.
So I still want to go back to Ibukun and ask, someone is asking, what is digital marketing?
Okay, in simple terms, and I think digital in itself can be very daunting, yeah? And for lawyers or for people that haven't really used digital a lot, you hear about all these things: Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, blog, website. And then you might even start looking at yourself, I'm thinking, but I'm not that funny. I don't look good in front of camera. If I write, my English is not that great. Something is happening. I don't know how to use this technology. So you kind of limit yourself already, or you might even think that you won't be able to harness the power of digital to grow your practice. So I want to also kind of remove all those fears, right? So digital marketing is very simple. It's marketing using digital tools. So what that means, first and foremost, is, and I think everyone on the panel also will add to this, the fundamentals of marketing has not changed, even when it comes to digital. So that means you still need to learn the basics. And everyone has touched on that. You know, identify who you are called to. What problems am I solving? And do they know that this is the exact problems I'm solving for them? Once you clarify all of those things, you can then take it a step further to look at which digital tools or platforms will help me do three main things. Number one, the people I want to reach, where are they on digital? Okay? So that would inform how you use, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Twitter, because you can't also just jump on everything. You will stretch yourself very thin. And that's not your business, right? It's just a tool for you to actually grow your real business. So the people that I'm called to, where are they? Number two is, what kind of things am I comfortable doing, okay? If the answer is nothing, then personal development comes in. You have to learn to do something that will be able to use those tools properly, right? So if it's writing, if you're good at writing, if you're not great at writing, but you can speak to the camera, if you're not even that great at doing all of those things, can you share quotes? Can you leverage on other people that are around you? But you need to find which one of those things you can do, or that aligns with you the most, and then use it. And then number three is, so first one is decide what problem you're solving. Number two is choose the platform, yeah? The people you are solving that problem for, where are they, and then you go there. And then number three is, how do I get them to become a client, a customer? The truth is, a lot of people are creating content. On a daily basis, there are about 1 million blogs that are being created. Every minute, there are about 50,000 pictures that are being shared on Snapchat. On Instagram, it's about 49,000. There are close to 1 million comments that are happening. So when you create your own content, the truth is, you're probably throwing it into an ocean. Nobody will see it. Nobody cares about it. Unless specific content for a specific people in a specific area that you are solving a problem in. You see how you then make sure you create your own area in that. So digital marketing, in essence, is just marketing your products and services using digital tools. I hope that kind of makes it simple.
Thank you. So I'll just talk to account Chima. I don't want to restrict her to any questions. I just wanted to, say something to us as lawyers, what we need to do. How have you been able to grow your accounting up, in 3 years to become a frontliner, tech-driven solution for entrepreneurs? And what lessons can we as lawyers take from that?
Okay, so here's what I did. I started by looking at everything accountants were not doing and deciding to do it differently. So every time you say, I run an accounting firm, what do they call them, please? Audit firms. So I don't do audits. So I started by looking at everything everybody was and looking at what they weren't doing. Then I looked at what were they doing that I felt I could do differently, better. And then I looked at what markets was underserved. So everybody was running an audit firm. Audit is done once in a year. I don't want to work for a client once in a year. I want to work for you every day. I want you to engage me. I want you to call me every day. So I wanted to increase the lifetime value of the customer. And that's what I did. So I don't do audits. I focused on bookkeeping and accounting tools. And then I started to question, why are accounting tools so expensive? Why is an accounting system 10 million? Why is it not 50K? Why is it not 5K? How can I make it cheaper? How can I make it faster? Why do you call accountants to deploy a software in your office and they spend 10 months? Why is it not 24 hours? I started to look at everything everybody was doing and finding what they weren't doing. So I'm a blue ocean strategist. I don't like to fight in the red waters in themselves. I go to where nobody's looking. People forgot that small businesses needed me. So I'm trained in PwC. I'm supposed to be one of the best and brightest accountants. I'm supposed to be working for the big clients. Hello, stay there. The small businesses, 100 of them can share me. Yes. You're smart and beautiful and bad. Stay in KPMG, but I'll be with the small businesses and I'll work for 300 of them and I'll make more money than you do. And that's the way I thought about it. So I said to myself, come out. The small businesses need a smart accountant. The small businesses want an accountant who signs a one-page contract, not a 30-page proposal. The small businesses want to talk about Dropbox, Google Sheets, Facebook, Instagram, and I'm sounding like I understand what he's talking about. And I wanted to be that accountant. So like he said, I carved a niche. And then I built a voice, a very strong voice. And every day I'm writing. Every day I'm writing. Small business accounting, bookkeeping, keep your book, pay your tax, small business. I started to resonate with the small business owner. I told stories about Sikira, the sales girl, stealing from you. I told the reason why you needed to tag all the inventory in your shop. And then the woman who sells clothes will call me up. Do you do tagging? Yes, we do tagging. You know, from the most basic things. Like a block industry will call me and will come and train in pidgin English in 1 hour, and the guy will pay 70K. Like the most interesting, I do the most basic of accounting things. Like bookkeeping is what we learn in ACC 101, like elementary accounting. I don't even come close to doing 1/1 million of what I was taught in PwC. I do the very basics. I come to you and write very elementary processes. Like somebody called me up last week, they are starting a cab hiring business. And then I go in to train the cab riders how to keep the books. Because a client will call, a driver will go to you, he will clock what time you came in, he will bill you, he will do that. You know those basic books? I'm training the riders and somebody's paying 200K for that. Very elementary things. So I say to you, find that niche. Find where nobody is looking. All of them are looking somewhere. I was speaking to a lawyer, we work for her. And I went for a meeting, and after we talked to her, I'm always talking business. I'm able to talk business. I said, Titi, how far this thing, business? Let's talk. How many clients? You know, love. I said, no, I don't know. I don't know those things. Me, I like things to grow, scale. Let's be talking business. And then, only then did I find out that she was an intellectual. She's focused on something like intellectual law, like protecting your... I didn't even know. I said, Titi, there goes the problem. Everyone who is connected to do. Every time I find an opportunity to pitch, I say exactly what I do. Oh, I don't do audits. I do bookkeeping. Everybody knows. If you need an accounting system, call Chioma. She deploys in 24 hours. Like I'm singing it everywhere I go. How come you're my friend? And I don't know that this is your core. How come you're not speaking at every hub? Oh yeah, Titi, let's make a list of everywhere that people need something about their intellect protected. Okay, so young boys are building apps. Where can we find 100 boys building apps that need to, trademark it, Abi? What do you call it? We just made a list sharp. Titi and I are speaking at some events. We're going to sign up 100 boys. That's how I want you to be thinking. Carve that niche now as we're talking. What is that thing where nobody's looking? Nobody's looking, but there's a market for you. Now, start writing it. Think about it. That thing you have a passion in. That very elementary law. I remember walking into ICANN office and saying, please, I want ICANN practice. The man said, what's your audit? I said, I don't do audit. I said, madam, please, we don't give bookkeeping license. I said, I'm an accountant for 12 years. I have ICANN for 12 years. I want a license to practice. I don't want to do audit. It was strange to ICANN that somebody is saying, I don't want audit license. Is there no bookkeeping? Okay, just give me license. Let me paste it in my office that I have license. So I say to you, you don't even have to do all of the great things. I don't know audits. I don't know forensics. Call all the big names in accounting. Be calling them international standards. You know those big things? I don't know them. I know the elementaries. And I make good money from the elementaries.
Thank you so much. I don't know if we have questions from the audience. Do you have questions for our before we wrap up this panel session? Are you raising your hand? Yeah. So please go ahead. Please make it brief.
It's working, it's working.
Good day, everyone. I'm Eyuche Ifediora, and so far I've gained so much, and I really like this talk about carving a niche. So my question is specifically for Madam Chioma. You said we should carve a niche, and I have interest in medical law practice. So my question now is, how can I monetize my skills in medical law practice?
So when you carve a niche, two things matter. Passion and size of the market. Very important. Passion. Skill. Do I know about this niche very well? Am I passionate about it? And how big is the market? So you would know how big the market for medical law is. I don't. Then the next step to answer your question is, what are the products that that market wants to buy? Start productizing the service. Take that service and turn it into a product. Define it. What is it in that niche that they want to buy? So you tell me. So I said I wanted to sell accounting to the small business owner. I started to ask myself, what does she want to hear? She wants to hear processes. She wants to hear my girl can. Isn't that what she wants to hear? Yes. So if I'm pitching to a big company, that's not what they want to hear. You can't even steal from Halibut. You can't steal from, right? So that's not what they want to hear. So I started to think of the things that the small business owner wants to hear. Sikira is stealing every day in the shop, right? The small business owner knows nothing about taxes. I started to think about elementary taxes. How do you outsource your basic tax? So I started to create products within that, that my market of what the market wanted to buy. So go back and productize. I was speaking at an event and a woman said to me that she's a children counselor. And she teaches children to find what they want to become in future. And she asked me a question. Nobody has ever bought anything from me. They don't. I said, because you haven't productized it. Put a price to it. Put a product. Tell me 2 hours to counsel my child to understand what she should be in the future, cost X amount. Tell me to bring my child for a 1 week session every other month to do this and do that. Tell me to get my child to do this activity for this long, we'll do this, and it will cost X price. Create products. Am I making sense?
Yes,
what exactly are the things that the people in that niche want to buy? Productize it. Put a price to it and be able to sell it easily. A business only grows when the word repetition kicks in. Repetition only kicks in when you turn a service into a product. So I'm able to say over and over again, outsource your tax is 20K. Outsource your tax is 20K. I can sleep it and dance it. Then 1,000 people can buy it. But if I just come here and say, I'm a tax expert, I have not even sat down in my own mind to conceive it into a product. So it is not easy to sell it to 1,000 people. Go and productize.
Thank you very much.
I just also want to kind of add to that. You know, one of the phrases I really like is the fact that people don't pay for passion, yeah? They pay for skill and they pay for value. So if you're passionate about something, and you don't take a step back to just understand in business terms that when it's time for you to buy something, you buy in concrete terms, yeah? And services by their nature sometimes are not concrete. And so, and I, again, with what we do, we sell retainerships. That's, if you want to work with us as an agency, we sell you retainerships. But what we've done is also productize. So someone can come and we say, okay, we would do X amount of posts for you on social media. So 20 posts a month costs X amount. And some people would take that up because it's now very much concrete in their minds. And so it's important for you to just being passionate is enough reason why someone would exchange value for money. Yeah, passion is not enough. It's the skills and a very clear times of what they are getting in return for the money they're about to give you.
I don't know if I can help you with a very simple model. And that model is going to help everybody here. Just take these 3 alphabets and keep it in your minds forever. And then take a triangle. C, M, and B. C, M, and B. And then in your books, you can just draw a triangle. At the top of the triangle, put the C. The right-hand side, put the M. The left-hand side, put the B. Now, you know I'm into marketing, communications, advertising. So let me see if you can guess what C would stand for. You said communication. Who else has another? Customer, okay. Consumer, anyway. C stands for consumer because consumer is just a subset of your consumer. Your consumer is a bigger aspect. Then your B stands for what? The brand. Thank you, I had the brand. You can clap for yourself if you were the one who said the brand. And then the M stands for what? The market. For you to create a niche, for you to market or to communicate value. So when you strike a line to the node, to the center, an intersection in the middle of your triangle, what you have there is V, and V stands for what? Value. The reason why the C is at the top is because that's the most important of everything, your consumer. When you are doing your medical law, if I got the terminology right, you are not doing medical law in a vacuum. You are doing it for a consumer. That is the most important. And within that medical law consumer sphere, you have different stratas of consumers, which you need to understand. So, if you were going to use a marketing communication term, you have A, B, C, D, E, where your E stands for your bus conductor, and your A, for example, could be the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They are all recipients of your product. And the C stands for hustlers like me. Do you understand? The middle class usually are the C. And so you have A, B, C, D, E. And the question you want to ask yourself is, even within that particular sphere, who is your bullseye? Where do you want your critical mass to come from? So when you understand your consumer with the most important person, the next thing you go to is the market. Which market is this person resident? And what are the elements and the forces within that market? Both internal and external. Because if you don't understand your market, you can end up being a pure water business where you set up your pure water and in the next 2 weeks, you have like 100 competitors selling pure water at the same price as you. And then the last, which is not the least important, you yourself, the brand. How do you want to position yourself? There are a lot of people on social media. I heard when somebody spoke about digital marketing, and I laughed because within that digital space, there are a lot of people talking, but not communicating. So you find out that you have some friends that when you click on Facebook, you always want to read what they write, and they get the most responses and the most likes. And you have another friend who writes every day on Facebook, but you don't even bother to check or you don't bother responding because that person is talking, but not communicating. So as a brand, you need to define yourself. If you don't define yourself, even if you have the right product to the right consumer, when that consumer gets to you, there will be a dissonance because they offer. And the brand you have created has a very strong dissonance. And if you understand the consumer and you understand the brand, you have a good brand, and you understand your consumer, but you are fishing in a wrong ocean, just like Chioma had said, then you are not going to be harvesting the right returns. If you have the right consumer, you have the right market, but your brand is just like the legal profession now. We're so many in Lagos. But then there are some that no matter how much, when they even talk to you with the best product, because the brand does not work, you won't just give your services to them. That's why we pay for premium. So if you have a very good product and you have a very strong brand, people would not legitimize your price because they would say that they are paying for what is in the center, which is the value they have to get. And that value can be tangible or intangible. But before people pay for value, they first want to be sure you understand them. You are the right person that they can talk to, which is the brand, and you are aware there is a connection with them, which is the market. Thank you.
Okay.
Very quickly, for this direct question, just trying to tie everything together. So there is a medical law field currently. You want to know how to monetize it. Is there anybody in Nigeria that is medical law field? Go and learn. I'm not going to apologize. I was just going to quote a Bible scripture. It says that the labor of fools wearies them because they don't know how to enter the city. For every business, there are gatekeepers. There's a system that works. I believe that even when you want to disrupt, you should understand what you're disrupting. Yeah? So there are people that in this field go and learn. Either you go work for them, go apprentice under them. And if you're going into a space where there's nobody in Nigeria, there's somebody doing something about it. Find out, learn the business, learn not just the passion, the business. Because there's a difference between what you can do and what you can charge a client for. There are two different things entirely. There are many things I do that I can never charge my client for. The moment he enters an invoice, I will not get paid for it. Aware the client is aware, we're all aware, thank God. Right? But there are things I would charge my client for and they're more than happy to pay for. I need to understand the business. And this is critical for any passion, any niche. Quick example is myself. Ibukun is very well aware. I ran an agency before a few years ago. I quit my agency to go work for RADP because I realized that I could do advertising, I could do digital marketing. They understood the business. And I'm sure you get this thing a lot. They're not a good company. They're just making noise. They don't know how to do it. Are they making money? So there's a difference between having competence and understanding the business of something. Learn the business. Critical. We are brilliant lawyers here. We need to learn the business of law. Thank you.
And on that note, we come to the end of the session.
Okay. The MC wants us to run. I want to thank you. Thank you so much for the session. Did we learn one or two things from it? Would we be glad to? So I'm going to be telling us about the Strictly Law Business Academy afterwards, which some of them are faculty members already, and they would be glad to, teach us more and more about it, because I tell you, we can't exhaust all of this in one day. All we have learned today, there are things we need to take notes on, there are things they will need to give us practical examples, but we can do that in a classroom setting. And so I'm not sure if are we open to that, having a classroom setting so that we can learn more and more and pick more of their brain, right? Okay. So thank you very much, Ibuku. Thank you, Chioma. Thank you, Debo. And thank you, Ola.
A round of applause for all the panelists. We will just do a photo op, just one picture. The photographer will take a picture of us and we'll move on to the next thing.